If you want to sell in today's economy, you need to create, as a sales professional, a personal brand. There are several steps you can take in order to build that brand, and you're not going to rely on marketing to do this for you. We're going to talk about exactly how to do that in a minute. Hi, I'm Shawn Casemore, and I help you learn how to become a top-performing sales professional so that you can earn more money in less time. If that sounds good to you, make sure you click the subscribe button. You'll be notified each and every time I release a new video just like this one. And of course, click the like button if you like the content on this video. I'll make sure to create more videos just like it. Now, let's jump into creating your personal brand. When it comes to creating a personal brand as a sales professional, first off, you need to do this. Why? Because your prospects are out there seeking a trusted advisor, somebody that they can work with that can help them identify the best solution for them, which hopefully is your product or service, and of course can help them through the buying process and help them to really gain the outcomes that they're seeking, again, from your product or service. The way that prospects do that today is research. In fact, studies have shown they spend over 45% of their time researching, looking for solutions. What they'll often come across is a product or service first, and then a salesperson second. But if you create a personal brand, they can sometimes find you first, which sets you up for all sorts of upsell and cross-sell opportunities in addition to the initial product. So you need to make sure you're building your personal brand. Let's talk about the steps you can take to do so. Step number one, when it comes to building your personal brand as a sales professional, you want to be on the social platforms that your buyers or your prospects spend their time on. So for example, if you're in the B2B world, you should be spending time on LinkedIn. Now, this isn't about spending hours a day. You can create a system whereby you go in and spend 15 to 20 minutes a day, but you want to be not only pursuing prospects and making connections, but actually building a brand, which means you're sharing content. Could be content that you've created, could be videos that you've created, but it's got to be something that demonstrates you and shows you in the light of being that trusted advisor, somebody who is all knowledgeable relative to the product or service you're selling. And as you're creating that content, the second thing you want to consider in building your personal brand is answering the questions that your prospects are looking for when it comes to buying your product or service. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I can do that. I can create a video and answer some questions. How do I know what the questions are? Ask your prospects, ask your clients, ask your colleagues. What are the challenges, the questions, the issues that prospects tend to have when they come to us? Then you simply answer those. So let's say for a moment that a prospect comes to you because they're looking to increase the efficiency in their operation. So what you want to do is get some specific questions, write down some answers to those questions, and then create a video, a written article, a blog, a podcast, a recording, a webinar, something that answers those questions. In fact, that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm taking questions that have been submitted by you, and I'm answering them. And by doing so, putting it into video form, sharing it on YouTube, where I know many of the sales professionals look for advice and ideas and concepts relative to selling, I'm creating a personal brand. So you can do the same thing. You just want to make sure you spend time where your prospects are researching, whatever platforms that is on, that those are. And as well, make sure you're not just, sharing content or connecting. You want to be putting content out there. And by sharing content, I mean, don't just share other people's content, create your own. Do so by answering questions your prospects ask, and put a different spin on it. Don't just say what your competitors are saying. If you've ever heard me speak, you'll know that I often talk about same doesn't sell. So the third thing I want you to consider in building your personal brand is that you need to focus on being different, being unique. So you might be somebody that's really enthusiastic in front of the video, or you might be somebody that wears a red hat, red glasses, something that stands out. Why? Because your goal in trying to build a personal brand is to set yourself apart from the competition. You can't do that when everything you do is the same as them. So you need to spend some time thinking about, how do I get in front of prospects and how do I set myself apart from my competitors? Is it my tone of voice? Is it my presentation? Is it the content I'm sharing? Is it all three? So there's the key steps you want to use to build your personal brand in sales. A couple more quick tips for you before we go. Now, here's the reality. As a sales professional, your role is about activity. It's about reaching out and connecting with people. So again, my goal here isn't to say, hey, you need to devote hours a week to building a personal brand. But what I am suggesting is you need to build that personal brand, and you can commit 15, 20 minutes a day and do so. But the key, if you really want to accelerate that brand, is the amount of content you put out there and the relevance of where you share it. So the more content you create and share, the more there's a better chance, I should say, that people will become aware of you. And when you put that in places that you know your prospects are looking, because you've asked them, hey, where do you research for your products or services, right, that I'm selling? You'll learn where those are. You share that content there. The more often you share it, again, the more chances you'll be found. Several years ago, we bought an RV trailer and we looked around, did some research on different dealers, and one stood out because they had a YouTube channel with hundreds of videos with one guy that did all the videos. He had a sense of humor, right? So normal looking individual, but had a good sense of humor, funny to watch, always cracking jokes. And for that reason, we went to visit him. We met him, and guess what? We ended up buying a trailer. And if you look at that sequence of events, it's the same for B2C or B2B. People do research. As long as you put your content in front of where they're doing research and you set yourself apart, you'll start to build a personal brand. People will start to say, get me, Shawn Casemore. But of course, they'll use your name because you're not me. Okay, one more quick tip. This might sound counterintuitive, but when it comes to building a personal brand, you have to talk about the brand, meaning you have to constantly be referring to other content you've created. So let's say you created a video and put it on LinkedIn. And let's say in addition, you created a video and put it on YouTube. And let's say in addition to that, you wrote an article that you share with prospects. Maybe it's just a summary sheet or a tip sheet, okay? In your videos, you want to reference the summary sheet. You want to say, hey, if you're looking for more tips like this, contact me. I'd be happy to send it to you. In that tips sheet, you maybe want to refer them to your LinkedIn page where you'll be offering videos and more content to help them through their problems. When you start to cross-pollinate, what you do is you create, again, more awareness and you accelerate your brand. So make sure if you are sharing content, creating content, and building that personal brand, that you're cross-pollinating. You're telling people where else they can connect with you to drive them there. Because what we want to do is the more times they see you, the more they become familiar with you, the better chance they'll reach out. Hope you enjoyed this video on how to create a personal brand as a sales professional. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click the subscribe button. You get notified each and every time I release a new video. And of course, comment below with your own strategies to build your very own personal brand in sales. Until next time, let's get out there. Let's go sell something. We'll talk to you soon.